This video is going to provide a template for the intersection of MBTI personality type and personality disorder for the ESTJ personality type. If you don't agree that these two people are actually narcissists, you can insert another example of an ESTJ that you might actually believe is a narcissist. But this is just a template to show which types are predisposed and prone to which disorders. So this video is going to look at a male and female ESTJ, which will be Judge Judy and Gordan Ramsay, and they are great examples of the intersection of MBTI type and personality disorder, showing that ESTJ types are born overt narcissists, regardless of their gender, since they are born into a masculine personality type. I showed the Sam Vaknin clip in this video that I've shown in many of my other videos that explains that narcissism is most often overt in men and covert in women. And in this video, Judge Judy will be an exception to that majority rule because she was born in a masculine thinker personality type. So when her narcissism expresses itself, it expresses in the overt masculine way. So in general, if someone is a T-type personality, they are more masculine in their mind, regardless of their sexual anatomy. And if they're an F personality, they're more feminine in their mind. Just sticking to looking at the sensors, this rule holds that with sensor types, if it's an F personality, it's more feminine, and if it's a T personality, it's more masculine. So if a male is born into a feeler personality type that is more feminine, and he's a sensor that is not neurodivergent, then he will be an exception to the general rule Vaknin says, which is that narcissism in men is usually overt. Common sensor personality males born into feeler type personalities will present with the feminine, vulnerable, covert kind of narcissism, just like the women born in female bodies. And vice versa. If a common sensor personality is born into a female body, but they were born into a T-type thinker masculine personality, then they will also be exception to the rule Sam Vaknin talks about. While women would mostly present as covert narcissism if they're born into a masculine T-type personality, they will actually present as overt narcissists, just like men in male bodies. So even without liberals pushing an agenda for everyone to be queer, genderless, and gay, there is a lot of gender dysphoria that naturally occurs when males are born into feminine feeler personalities and when females are born into masculine thinker personalities.
Most of the men diagnosed with borderline personality disorder would be actually covert, and most of the women diagnosed with borderline personality disorder would be actually overt. A very similar situation exists nowadays with narcissistic personality disorder, where we could safely say that most of the classic overt narcissists are actually men, while most of the covert narcissists, and definitely inverted narcissists, codependent narcissists, are actually women.
But that was the old me. In my pursuit of harmony, I tried it all. I tried affirmations. Be calm. I am calm! Digital detoxing. Talk to me. Weighted blankets. Oh, this is stupid. I even tried laughter therapy. But the recipe for my calmness was right here all along. It's the essence of harmony. I know what you're thinking. Gordan hasn't really changed. He'll always be angry. Mother! Oh, the pigs are back. Download Heyday now and find your inner peace. My brand new fucking boots. Still happy? Hi there, it's Gordan Ramsay. Now, as you may have noticed, I've changed deeply. But I used to feel so angry, like that time when I called a member of the Red Kitchen a donut. Young man, you're not a donut, you're a human being. Or when I told a chef that serving guacamole on the side of the halibut looked like a smear in my granddad's underpants. Man, that was harsh. To all of you, honestly, I'm so sorry. But lastly, I want to apologize to everyone I've called a donkey. It wasn't fair to you, and more importantly, it wasn't fair to the donkeys. They are such beautiful animals. I'll get back to how I found my new inner harmony soon. But until then, be kind, always. Thank you.
Come here, taste this. Have you tasted anything that you cooked for me tonight? What do you taste out of that? It's raw. Is that acceptable? Stand up to the line. I have given you every opportunity to let you get back on track, and you keep fucking it up. One more time, and you are out of this kitchen.
Sorry.
Get another pot on and get it going now.
Bloody hell. I got the message big time, and I will not screw up again.
Let's go, young man. Last time with the Wellington, you nailed it. Okay, beautiful. Glad you kept the skin on. Tartar sauce. Wow, the old topping has come on in leaps and bounds. Dude, that is precise beyond belief. Be careful, because my mum is watching. She taught me fish and chips, and so far, so good. Nice, dense, thick tartar sauce. Butter looks good. Fish, let's go. Crispy, fingers crossed. Good. Aerated batter, let it rest. Dip it in. Cayenne, this is looking good. Yet again, you've nailed it, young man.
This looks beautiful.
Dig in.
Oh my goodness,
A
thank
little bit
you.
of red wine demi on the side, of course.
Amazing. Beef cooked beautifully. It's funny, I remember getting my mum up to the launch at the restaurant at Claridge's, and I made one of these for her, and she sent it back. I'm sat there in the kitchen, and there's like 45 chefs, and Mrs. Ramsay, table one. I said, what? What do you mean? It's like, she's joking? She's taking the piss? She said, no, she wants it more cooked. I'm like, for fuck's sake. I don't want beef with blood in it, Gordan. I need beef with flavour. I'm like, Mum, you can't overcook a Wellington. She said, well, then don't serve it to me. I'm like, oh my God.
Michelin critics got nothing on Mrs. Ramsay. Damn.
Honestly.
You've got the nerve to tell me that some of them are fine, wishy-washy, not even seasoned, and do you know what, more importantly, they're boiled. You donkey! That's burnt! You're cooking in a burnt pan, you fucking dick! Oh my God, leave it, leave it, leave it! Just fucking leave it! You're gonna blow fire in your face, you fucking donkey!
Fuck me. Have you actually ever sat at the table and watched 6 customers with this fucking donkey's dick swinging in front of their face? It's hilarious.
Come, not very special, thanks to Dick Face there. Hurry up, Giovanni!
Yeah, but I'm not Dick Face, Chef.
Yeah, say that again?
I said I'm not Dick Face,
Yeah, you're
Chef.
pissed, are you?
I'm not.
Fucking look at me in the eyes! Not as pissed as I am! You fucking are! Donkey! This oven is cold, it's come out. Oh my God, leave it, leave it, leave it! Just fucking leave it! You're gonna blow fire in your face, you fucking donkey! I'm gonna go fucking ballistic. Get a grip! Oh dear. Raj! Come here, you. It's raw. It's fucking raw! It's real. Okay. Come on, man! What is that? What? What is that? Huh? It's like Barbie's vomit. It's like purple snot. I swear to God, it's fucking pinker inside than Paris Hilton's lipstick. Just touch that fish there. Just touch how dry. It's got more fucking wrinkles on it than I have, and I'm 44 years of age. And that should be fucking cooked fresh. Thanks to Dick Face there. Hurry up, Giovanni.
Yeah, but I'm not Dick Face, Chef.
Yeah, say that again.
I said I'm not Dick Face,
Yeah,
Chef.
you're pissed, are you?
I'm
not
not.
as fucking. Look at me in the eyes. Not as pissed as I am. You fucking are. Donkey.
No.
You're cooking like a donkey.
I didn't realize they shrank down that much, Chef.
It's a bit like your brain. Not only is it shrunk, but it's disappeared. All of you. Look, it's not. It's just. No, it's not about all. It's not about that. Oh, damn it.
Halibut exploded all over my face, and like I have little tiny like bits of halibut in my eye.
That's what he took off, and there's the fillet. Look at the fillet.
He molested that poor thing. People have gone to jail for worse. Looks like he went with it with a jackhammer.
We fucking wasted the most expensive part. Look at it. Ring the bell. Come here, you muppets. What a muppet. Gail. Look, I've got raw pasta. Look at it. It's standing up straight. Look, madam. It's like a fucking thong left over from a fucking night out in Vegas. Come on. All of you. Just taste that, will you? Just touch that. There's fucking fish hotter than that in a fucking sushi bar. Raw! Shit! This is not possible.
You're done. You're done.
That's what I get served. Look, come here, all of you. He brings that pissing over, And the big surprise is the fucking bass is fucking raw! One chicken, one pork chop.
5 minutes, chef.
He's trying to propose to his future fiancée.
Chef.
Move, Louis!
Yes, chef.
Make them break up before they even fucking get married.
30 seconds, cutting pork now.
Tonight, it was painful just watching you disintegrate. It was like having a root canal and passing a kidney stone at the same fucking time.
Outcomes. Look at that. Overcooked on the bottom, crispy as fuck, and it looks like Gandhi's flip-flop. What a shame.
Look, this fucking pigeon's that raw it can still fly. Touch it. Stone fucking cold and raw. Come on.
Sabrina.
Yes, chef.
Look, raw.
Yes,
like
chef.
it's still running around in the fucking field. Is that purpose?
No, chef.
So why?
This is the lamb.
Where's the lamb
That's the lamb
sauce? Get out of my way. Get out of my fucking way. Get out of my fucking way. Get out of my way!
I'm not in your way.
Fuck off upstairs then!
All right, fine.
Fuck off! Do you know we have the two main causes together? Shit! Stop lying to me! You're saying yes all the fucking time, yet nothing's done! Shit! Shit! The two beef!
Okay.
One halibut, one fucking John Dory!
That's one, so you need one more.
I want them together!
Okay.
I asked you to communicate with each other!
Okay.
And you're not! Hey. It's fucking redder than your beard, and look at me! It's still raw!
Yes, sir.
No, no! I'm done. Look. Look at the mess! What the fuck are you three doing? Who's running the station? Who's fucking firing them?
The guy was making them
You
fire.
have to turn them every 90 seconds.
Chef, I understand. That's what we've been doing,
So
Chef.
why is it raw?
Because it's not cooking properly.
Well, keep it fucking in!
I will, Chef.
All of you, come here!
Yes, sir.
All of you!
Just touch that. Yeah, just touch it, how wet it is.
It's not overcooked, it's like mush. It's like soaking wet, great for shit, fish and chips. Do you know it's raw?
I was just doing it because it's faster, Chef. That's the only reason.
Faster? You've always got a fucking answer for everything.
Just trying to...
Shut it! You shouldn't be in wine! Big fucking problem. Yes, I do! There! Fuck me. This is wrong!
Oh my God.
This is wrong!
Not again. Damn it. This can't be happening. Come on, Ray.
It's just wrong! JP, hey, come here you. Come here you. Fucking get in here, you Belgian twat. Time out this guy. 5 minutes, fuck off in the bar. There's your buzzer. Fuck off, Mike. Joy, he won't tell me. He's got no balls. Why are you throwing that risotto away?
Because it was
Oh, you
overcooked.
shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
Stuffing it. Yeah.
Consistency?
Don't fucking dare. Don't fucking dare. Missy, come here, you fat mouth little stupid bitch.
Yes, chef.
You're pissing around with something that's not working.
Yes, chef.
Have that fucking clicked?
Yes, chef.
It's fucking rare! Yeah, I wouldn't go around looking for plaudits right now. Right now is the wrong fucking time! Get out! Yes. Jackass waving at them! What have we got to wave about? I don't care! Get out!
What are we waiting on? What do we got?
What are we waiting on? I'm waiting on some fucking talent! All of you! Get out! Hey, you! Take that with you. Get out of my fucking sight. Get out! Out! You. Fuck off out of there. Get out! Get out! The fucking girls will finish the meal service. Get out!
What's there?
That's for that fucking order there! If you saute scallops in a non-stick pan, they won't stick. That's why it's called fucking non-stick! You've got Bastard, he's got Bastard. It's the same table, you idiots. And not one of you are fucking communicating. Both of you, fuck off out of here. Fuck! Shit! What in the fuck is going on? All of you, come here! Get in there! Let's put one shit mess with another shit mess. Get in there! Shut it down! Get the fuckers out! Stand back!
Yes, Chef.
There's cooking and there's fucking bonfire. Stand back! The garnish section does the garnish. The meat cook the meat.
Yes, chef.
End of story!
Yes, chef.
I'm dragging a scallop! It's cold in the fucking middle! Cold in the fucking middle! There's no system! I can't keep on telling you every fucking service!
Boris. Come on, Boris. What the fuck?
This is a fucking kitchen! I'm trying to fucking run a restaurant!
Yes,
Come here, you! You wanna wash pans? Get down there and fuck off, will you, yeah? Do it full time. Get on there. That's what I got given at the fucking park. Shit! We deserve better than this. Where's your fashion? Anything to say?
It won't happen again.
Don't fucking dare bring me that shit.
Yes, chef. Won't happen again.
Fuck off. You fucking go on the reward. You take advantage. You come back and you perform like fucking idiots.
Yes, chef.
Get a grip.
Yes, chef.
Or fuck off.
Yes, chef.
No, is it fuck? Is it fuck? Yes, it's fucking raw. Hey, look at me. Is that better? It's raw. You fucking idiot. What is that? That's well done. That is well done, so stop bringing me shit.
What about this, Gordon?
That is well done.
What about this?
It's well done. Look at it. It's well done. We braised it.
That looks pink to me.
That's gristle, you fucking idiot.
Okay.
What is that?
Gristle.
Look.
Yeah.
Look, it's white inside. Pissed, are you? I'm not fucking. Look at me eyes. Not as pissed as I am. You fucking are. Donkey. Hey, Ed, come here. Hold your hands up. Yeah. Look at me. You, and you. Fuck off, Alf. Leave me alone. Get out. God. Again, chicken. That is fucking pink.
Fuck, man.
Raw chicken followed by raw chicken! All of you, fuck off out of it. Raj! Come here, you. It's raw. It's fucking raw!
It's real. Okay.
Come on, man.
It's raw!
The guy can't change his underwear the right way.
We haven't even served the fucking entree. All of you fucking come here! Shit! Get in here! I suggest you fuckers have a meeting and sort your shit out! Is this acceptable? Yeah. Listen to me. Yes. Did you hear my fucking question? Yes. Answer it, okay?
Yes, chef.
What is that? What is that? What is that? That says at the best. What is it? Wait, it gets better. Look, touch that.
It's rubber, chef.
Oh my God! Unbelievable. No. Get out! Out! Get out! Get out! Get your jacket off and fuck off!
20 years ago, I got dealt a dysfunctional card. My little brother became a heroin addict.
I'm attack kitchen staff on their gender, their appearance, their intelligence.
First of all, I don't attack.
Well, I'll get you more pumpkin and I'll ram it right up your fucking ass. Would you like it whole or diced?
I suppose I get turned on by pressure.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
Where's the lamb sauce?
All I do is keep it real.
Ladies, welcome. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
So sorry about the old bag.
Gee, you cause a stir out there, literally.
Yeah, I didn't mean it, actually.
Some hot water for celebrity chef Gordan Ramsay, facing some payback.
I'm deeply mortified that it's been blown out of context.
Chef Ramsay, you're a douchebag.
You can't keep everybody happy.
As he puts it, I want to be a role model for my children
Me? How about you?
and have them look up to me.
And I get a lot of criticism for being blunt,
We don't need him here.
brutal,
What he should do is confine himself to the kitchen.
because I've never forgotten where I've come from.
He's a man with a serious dark side.
20 years ago, I got dealt a dysfunctional card. My father became an alcoholic. What do I do?
His favourite punishment was the belt. He'd get whacked on the back of the legs for something that was as innocent as going to the fridge and drinking his Coke. I say whacked. The truth is, or he'd get completely fucked over for that sort of thing. Mum was getting knocked about, and not having had any other experience with men, she assumed that this was what every woman had to put up with. My tactic was to keep
Having 6 days a week at work. At the age of 26, I was burnt out.
Sometimes when he phoned home, I used to feel really sorry for him because if it was a bad night, he used to say, oh, you know, he was ready to...
and it was unimaginably painful hearing the stuff from Mum, her voice down the telephone. He came home from work one night and he just started. Dad had had a couple of drinks. Mum was in bed with a mug of hot milk. He poured it all over her as she lay there. Then he dragged her downstairs and the beating started. By the time the ambulance arrived, her eyes were completely closed, her face swollen. First she was taken to a hospital, then to a refuge. Dad, of course, disappeared at the first sound of a police siren. A few days later,
Al says he is for his food. He's been forced to eat his own words.
For celebrity chef Gordan Ramsay.
I didn't see him for many years. Time I came close to doing so, I would put the fear of God in if he knew that his time was running out. Driving back to London after that last visit, I cried my eyes out. What a waste of a life. All I knew was that I didn't want to be like him, and any time I came close to doing so, I would put the fear of God into myself.
The most important thing for me was the journey back. Because picking yourself up and dusting yourself down, no one can ever teach you that. 20 years ago, I got dealt a dysfunctional card. My father became an alcoholic.
Everything he did, I was determined to do the opposite.
Who cares? I wouldn't push it if I were you. I didn't ask you a question. Cross your arms. Listen. I don't care. Bye, Miss Lincoln. If you're not going to be quiet and listen to me, I'm just walking out on you. Do you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. How can I say that in another language?
Adios.
Adios. How can I say that in another language?
Adios.
Adios. You sound like a fool.
I don't, because I know what I'm saying.
Are you trying to sound like a fool? You sound like a fool.
I'm trying to sound what it is.
You sound like a fool.
That's your opinion.
No, my opinion's the only one that counts.
Scheindlin, whose show Judge Judy launched its 22nd season last September. #1 show, #1 TV personality. You've said, and I agree with you, one of the reasons your show is so successful is people love seeing a woman in control. And boy, is that a timely sentiment now. And yet you said you never considered yourself a feminist. Why is that? And do you get the same kind of pushback in saying that I do? Because I've said the same.
I get pushback. You have to listen to it. You're younger.
Now, I read that one of the things you wanted to project was, okay, there's that sweet little old lady judge. Like, what could possibly go wrong? And then came her actual time on the bench, in which she was once quoted as saying, I want first offenders to think of their experience in my courtroom as the second worst experience of their lives, circumcision being the first.
I did say that.
And you were tough from the start.
I think that one of the things that the world started to, well, at least here, started to fall short on was keeping people responsible for what they do. And if you're going to treat juveniles differently, you're not going to put them in an adult system. You're doing it so that you can change their behavior, so that you're not incarcerating them and allegedly making hardened criminals of them. But in order to do that, you have to say to a kid who's 15, we don't rob people. There is a consequence if you take a knife and mug somebody. And that isn't, you get a timeout, you go and sit in the corner, you get to feel bad for an hour. That is a real consequence. And it doesn't have to be unpleasant for a decade. It can be unpleasant for a day, but there has to be a consequence. And if, as a society, you keep making these threats to kids, the next time you get caught breaking curfew, you lose the car. The next time, and you never follow through. Ultimately, both your children and the children who are wards of the state because they've committed crimes think the country is full of crap.
That's your tough love approach is one of the things that made me fall in love with you. And you'll watch her show and somebody who's done something bad will start blubbering on about, their mother. And Judy will say, tell it to Oprah. You're in the wrong place. And boy, they learn fast. Love approach is one of the things that made me fall in love with you. And you'll watch her show and somebody who's done something bad will start blubbering on about, their mother. And Judy will say, tell it to Oprah. You're in the wrong place. And boy, they learn fast not to pull that with you. That toughness, but with humor. It's not cutting toughness. You always maintain your humor is what got you some national attention. And then at the age of 52, you realize that you're never too old to change your life. And is that when Judge Judy, the show was born, 52?
I was 52. I was actually, I think, 51 when it premiered in September, but turned 52 in October of that year.
So she makes this big risk. That's a huge risk. And now she is the #1 show and the #1, not just highest paid woman, highest paid personality in all of television.
Nice.
All of television. You did it through your own hard work and tough negotiation. Tough negotiation. You don't walk in there like, cowering. Like, I make a lot of money and I apologize for it.
Women, it's different. Men and women treat salary differently. Women are afraid to ask for a raise. They don't recognize their worth. A man will go in and say, you know what, I've been here 2 years and I think it's time you gave me a raise. And they'll either say yay or nay. Sound like a fool.
I don't, because I know what I'm saying.
Are you trying to sound like a fool? You sound like a fool.
I'm trying to sound what it is.
You sound like a fool.
That's your opinion.
No, my opinion's the only one that counts. I don't give a rat's
So why do people put these
Listen to me. I don't give a rat's behind about what you're going to show me. I'm not giving you another penny. I'm done. You're gone. Over at the car, Tim, or do you want me to leave you exactly the way I found you? Your pleasure.
Your Honor, I beg of you to please listen to my evidence.
And I'm the only one who has to understand. Goodbye. Good luck. Have a happy life. Goodbye.
Your Honor.
Goodbye.
Your Honor. May I ask you a
Goodbye.
question?
We're done. No, nothing. We're done.
Well,
you got what you wanted.
Yes,
say
Your Honor.
thank you.
Thank
Just
you.
say thank you. Goodbye.
I have that
Goodbye.
paperwork here.
Goodbye. Look at me. Look at mother. Goodbye. Goodbye.
So case dismissed.
Your case is dismissed. Yes, you have no case.
Bye. She had agreed to pay it. It was
What
in
kind
her.
of goodbye don't you understand? There are only so many ways I can say goodbye. I've said them in every language that I know fluently. Goodbye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, if he doesn't sell the house, I get nothing.
That's what I said. Bye. We're done. Thank you. Goodbye,
I was
Miss Woodford.
warned by so many people. That's it.
That's it. Sounds right to me. Bye. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Take him off.
Goodbye, Miss Intro. You live there happily with your daughter. We're done. And that's your negligence, so go sue yourself. Your case against the defendant is dismissed. Goodbye.
It's a mistake.
It was an expensive mistake, but don't try to blame it on somebody else. It was your mistake. Don't do it again.
No, I wouldn't.
Goodbye. Thank you. Get over it. Nothing lasts forever. And now I want the $5,000. Is that where we are?
Yes.
Sure. Out of your box. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
I think it's a very good idea.
Good. Thank you very much. We'll cut that order. Goodbye.
Yes, she was.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,300. Goodbye. Courts don't help people like you.
I agree. I mean,
Goodbye. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $313. It's been delightful chatting with you. Thank you. Program. If they are drug abusers, they don't stop. Goodbye. $1,287 is what you owe her.
Yes,
Jen
ma'am.
did.
Good. Goodbye.
Why does that excuse?
Good. You don't understand. She doesn't understand. That's a vacant look. I assume that means either she understands or she doesn't understand, but she doesn't like what I have to say. Either way, this
Yes,
case is
I
over. Thank you
understand.
very much. Goodbye.
Why does that excuse? You missed it.
Deal with it. Goodbye. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Go home.
Why does that?
Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $500. That's what I think it's worth, madam. Goodbye. It was a misunderstanding. Goodbye, Miss Klukas. You're not paying attention. He's well, you're here. It's furniture. It was a misunderstanding. No. You say no, I say yes, I win, I'm the judge. Goodbye.
Why does that excuse?
That doesn't happen.
Why does that excuse? You may step out.
Goodbye.
Why does that excuse? You may step out.
Yeah.
What moving violations?
That's irrelevant.
Not to me, it isn't. Maybe to you. Not to me, it isn't.
If he wouldn't have been going so
Now
fast,
you
he
can
wouldn't
put him
even
out.
hit the van.
Thank you.
See that door?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the one.
So you're saying the fact that
Cute doggy, cute doggy, cute doggy.
Hold it for a second. I did.
Precious, precious. Ooh, Terry, too.
Call the ding doctor over there. Then I can get rid of all of you and get on to my day. Now, I don't care if you build the wall. Ugh. You're all nuts. I don't care whether they're rescues, Persians, Himalayans, rag dolls. I don't care what they are. Your beloved cats are going to disappear. I'm telling you. And that will be your fault.
Well, it's my partner's brother-in-law's mother.
Don't you have a shawl or something? I'm not sure you're normal.
Of her giving me the money I have given her for the phone. I had given her money for the phone.
There's no such word as given.
Well,
listen to me. You're getting the Honda. I pay for all the weddings. They tell me, stay out of it. Just write the check. How many pills did you do?
Me?
Me. Fly swatter knows that you're not losing. Keep your cats in the house. Look like I was born yesterday. I'm 71 years old, you fool. It would be pleasurable for me to see you banging your head against the table. I want you to tell me about the Harley.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Am I addressing you? Your father-in-law is a liar. So he can sit down. Sit. And you two are so stupid you can't even get your stories together. You slept in the same hotel room last night and you can't get your stories together. They ought to give a prize for stupid. What do you do?
I work with the autistic.
So you know how to follow directions.
Absolutely.
Good. That's why you're here, and that's why you're in trouble, because you're a hothead. I don't care about your cat. Listen to me. I don't want to hear about your cat. When I'm looking at you, you'll know it. I can't resurrect him. Yeah. Mr. Ramirez, I don't care. I gotta tell you something. You're irritating. Don't talk to me while I'm moving.
Oh,
I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. You're my kind of guy. I have power. You have nothing. You know why you have nothing? Because you have no brain. Because you're not doing anything with the brain. So, no, don't stop me ever. I think that you're a fibber. Don't cross your arms. There's only one attitude here. I want you to start banging your head against that table, and don't stop until I say, Mr. Lowe, you can stop. Get another dog. I'm just telling you that there's something wrong with him. You don't know where you are. That's your problem. The women may find you irresistible. I guarantee you I do not. Well, this is not Dr. Phil. This is a court. Stand up. There's a smugness about you that I'm finding irritating, looking like a schlemiel. What was the person's name?
I just like seeing you work your way through it. In what position?
Why?
And
I got it.
Yes, Your Honor. And it was behavior like that. I was like, Melissa, what's going on? And then she was...
Don't ask me how I'm doing. Where's her money?
The money, I do not owe her anything.
Oh, please. She ran out of my house and slammed the door, breaking the window. I was extremely upset, so I grabbed a rock and tossed it gently at her car. I'd like 10 million people to hear that you've done something stupid. That's my joy in life. You know what my father used to say?
You want me to grab one out of the air?
He used to say to me, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't try to teach a pig to sing. It doesn't work and it annoys the pig. Dumb ideas come from people who have dumb brains.
No doubt.
Did you ever hear the expression, beauty fades, dumb is forever? Either you're playing dumb or it's not an act. You see, they don't keep me here because I'm gorgeous and 5'10". Sit down. I am a truth machine, sir. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Don't be a liar. I eat them up for breakfast. You lie to me, I'll wipe up the floor with you worse than anybody else who's ever tackled you. You better tell me the truth because I'm much smarter than you are. I love the truth.
Yes, sir.
If you don't tell me the truth, you're going to be eating your shoes.
The truth?
No, I'm here asking you to lie. Your story is a crock of baloney. Excuse me? On your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day when I'm sleeping. Yes, I have stupid right here. You think you're smarter than I am?
Huh?
That's not a hard question.
No.
Duh. You thought this was going to be easy?
No, ma'am.
It's not going to be easy. It's not an answer. Well, it's not an answer. It's not an answer. It's not an answer. It's not an answer. You know that face? That is the guiltiest face I've seen all day. Guilty. Baloney. Ridiculous. You stuck Miss Doyle, who is a single parent, raising 3 children, with bills for your cosmetic dentistry. And you think that I am not going to humiliate you in front of 10 million people?
When you lay it out like that, yes,
If
I
your
am.
mother didn't lay it out for you like that, I'm going to lay it out for you like that. You speak, I rule, and then you shut up. Do you understand?
When I was living in that shed, I was watching the TV and I just happened to see your show.
If you would have watched me more frequently, Dion, you would never be here today. You are pretty thick, stupid, outrageous, baloney, liar, baby, wise guys. Are you kidding me? Get over it. I don't know what you're talking about.
He cheats all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you trying to justify to me the fact that you're an idiot? This is a case of who's got the most attitude.
Ooh.
Who do you think has the most attitude? You did this ridiculous thing.
No, I didn't.
That I believe that you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Don't say it again.
But I didn't.
There's only one person who gets the last word, and that's me. How old are you?
33. You look 33, by the way.
That's very nice of you. It's not going to help you one bit. Aren't you sorry you made...
Pleased.
Unless he's in a hospital, he's to be in school. Clear, sir? This is not a legal game, counselor. This witness may not have a terrific memory, but I've got a very good memory, sir. You have a lot more questions? Good. Well, what do you want me to give him, a testimonial dinner? Thank you very much. Step out.
She is a 5'2" package of attitude with a capital A. And pity the young lawyer who dares to question the judge's judgment.
Well, are you suggesting, Ms. Gutierrez, that if I placed him on probation, he would never go visit his mother?
No,
are you
Judge.
suggesting that?
No,
so
Judge.
let's be real.
To those who confront her, she is the evil queen in a lace collar.
If that's too hard for you, sir, I guarantee you I will put you someplace where you're going to be in bed at 9 o'clock and at school every day. That's where the rest of your friends are.
And she deals with legal procedures with a scalpel.
So your objection's noted. It's overruled. Have a seat. No, listen to me. This is not a tea party. You make an objection, I rule.
The players in this theater of misery are the judge, lawyers, caseworkers, addicted parents, and castaway children.
You make a fool of me again, sir, by not doing what you're supposed to do, and I guarantee you it'll be a very sorry day. We understand each other? Yes. The respondent is paroled to his father in conjunction with the dome.
Unlike criminal court, there is no jury. Those present are supposed to work out a solution that is supposed to be in the best interest of the child. It is never easy.
This baby was born drug addicted, and if you keep using drugs, the other baby is going to be born drug addicted. And I'm telling you right now, you're not going to take this baby home from the hospital because the commissioner's not going to let you.
And when she feels the best interest of the child is to scare the living daylights out of him, she does not shy away.
Now, for you, Joey, I want you to stand up because I have a few things to say to you. I am dismissing this case, sir, because the law says that I must. That doesn't mean you're innocent, sir. That doesn't mean that you weren't involved in try.
No, but do you think you really scared him? You think...
I scared him not only by what I said to him verbally, but by the fact that when he was originally in the court, he was arraigned before another judge, and he was told to go to a particular program, an all-day school, and he didn't go. I said to him, we're not playing games here with you. This is the rule. You were told you're going to be paroled if you went to the alternatives to detention school. You didn't go to the school, you go to detention. I mean, if we're going to make orders, we have to be prepared to enforce them. Otherwise, everybody laughs at us and thinks that we're full of baloney, right?
And baloney is what she hates. But lectures she likes a lot, likes to give them. And when a caseworker seems to be dragging his feet, there is the threat of nuclear response.
Sir, you don't want me to have palpitations, do you? What? I'm very bad when I get palpitations. You have to see to it that this visitation takes place. It's very important that this child gets to see his mother and his grandmother. And the longer he spends not seeing his family, the more difficult it's going to be. Is that a fair statement, sir? Yes. Well, then let's just do it. The goal is to get them to do the right thing. Nobody who comes into my courtroom who's done the right thing is afraid. They're afraid if they come in and they do the routine thing, which is just give me a lot of rhetoric and gobbledygook, either one of two things are going to happen. Either they're going to say, I want off this case, I'm never going back there before that monster again. Or they'll say, the next time I come in, I better have done my job better.
Do they ever mouth off at you?
Rarely.
Indeed. Robert Little, the commissioner.
Ballet lessons as a young child. My parents thought I might have talent in that direction. I had none. I stopped pursuing it. I tried piano lessons for a while. I hated to practice, and I found that I was, although I like to sing, I have a little sore throat today. I like to sing, mostly to myself, and that's a good thing for my family. I had no particular musical ability, so I quickly gave that up and found that the thing that I did best was talk.
So what did you want to be when you grew up?
A lawyer. Always.
And how did this come to you? I mean, at what age? Were you young?
I think I was young, and I think that my father used to talk to me about the world of politics, and he thought that with what he considered the gift of gab that I had, I would make a good politician. And I believed that in order to be a politician, you had to be a lawyer first. As an adult, I realized that I would be a terrible politician because I prefer the ability to make a decision unencumbered by what other people think. Politicians, unfortunately, are encumbered by many, many constituencies. So for me, I think that life is so much luck, because if you choose something, I always say, if you choose something that you're naturally adept at and you can figure out how to make a living at it, you're ahead of the game. In my case, I figured out what I was naturally adept at initially, which was talking and arguing and debating. Debating what time to go to bed, whether I could stay out until 11 or 12 o'clock, debating whether I could wear sneakers out on Friday night, even though my mother said only bums wore sneakers out on Friday night, whether I could walk to the theater myself when I was 14, the movie theater 3 blocks away, or whether they were going to drive me to the movies. Those were debates that we had, and I learned to use my gift of words.
What about television? What are your earliest memories of TV?
Milton Berle. He is my earliest. Milton Berle in the Texaco Hour and the opening, which I memorized, and which I'll give you a caveat of a story. Many, many decades later, after Milton Berle, and we are the men of Texaco. We work for Maine to Mexico. You remember that? I don't know if you do. That's their responsibility. They were out to lunch. So does that make me tough? It does.
Did you relish that reputation, that title as America's toughest?
Did I relish it? I don't know. I don't think I relished it, but I didn't mind it. I never acted out of being mean-spirited. I had appeared before judges who were just mean-spirited. You said yes, black. They said white. Yes, no, right, wrong. I understood that. Just flexing your muscles to show your power is not where I wanted to be. I don't mind even be self-deprecating. As long as you got the message across, and the message is that the justice system means business. And if you're going to try to make a fool of the justice system, by not following the rules, by flaunting its orders, by not abiding by the laws of the place where you live, there is a consequence. I am your consequence. Now, you may be lucky. You may get some do-gooder who says, not your fault. But that's the luck of the draw. You may get me.
Did you ever feel threatened?
No. Overwhelmed. I mean, me.
Did you ever feel threatened?
No. No.
What part of being in a role in family court as a judge was most frustrating for you?
The most frustrating part was that despite my best effort, giving it 110% of my effort, most of the time, you couldn't fix most of the families, most of the dysfunctional families. Couldn't fix them. The pathology was too ingrained. The being overwhelmed. I mean, situations very often of their own making. I mean, if you're a poor single woman, from the researchers who get the cases from the courts, everybody does their job, and I do my job. My job is to adjudicate. So when we first started the program, the people who worked, many of them worked on the People's Court. They had a certain rhythm. They knew that they came in, the producers spoke to Judge Wapner, this is what the case is about. He had little blue cards. I said, that's not the way you run a courtroom. The way you run a courtroom is you have a complaint and an answer. Complaint written by the litigants stating their position, the answer by the defendant, and if there's a countersuit, the countersuit. That's what I get to read. And when a producer came in to discuss the case with me, I said, I have no interest in meeting you. You're a nice person. You do your job. I do my job. If the public wanted your opinion about how this case should be decided, they'd give you a dress, black dress with a collar, and I would be doing your job or no job. You do your job. I'm not going to interfere with the way you do your job if you do it well. And you can't interfere with the way I do my job. So we all have what we do. We don't do blue cards. We don't, we don't use somebody else's opinion. I don't take a break to go and research what the law is, go in the back and call 4 people. We do a case, start to finish, no stopping. I don't exit, come back, start to finish. That's it. I do my job. Everybody else does their job.
Retakes? No retakes?
Never. Never.
Are you the same Judge Judy on the television program as you were Judge Scheindlin before you ever even thought about being on television?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the only way I could function. I was 52 years old when I took this job. That's really a second career person. And if I had to try to change the course of the way I did business, it would not be fun for me. It would be a struggle. And it's just I struggled a long time in the family court. Struggled to raise a family and be a full-time working mom and to have a successful career and to raise nice children. And right now, my husband and I are enjoying the benefits of a life. I like to think a life. I really didn't know what the direction of it would be and how it would be perceived, but I'll tell you how it's been perceived from the emails that I get. And we get hundreds and hundreds of emails. And my husband and I have traveled, done a great deal of traveling, far more than we did in the previous lifetime. And wherever the show airs, it's well received. We have a phenomenal audience in Ireland, in Australia, in the UK, in Israel, in Africa. And I think that there is a universal message from what I hear, the receptors, is if I could define it in one word, it's responsibility. People really want their fellow man to accept responsibility for themselves and for their actions. And I believe that there have been the last 5 or 6 decades of soft thinking. I hope we're not coming back to it, where it's not your fault if you do something wrong. The consequence is not yours for that bad act. society will take over and take care of all of the ills of everyone. You don't have that responsibility. And the mail that I get suggests to me that I got a letter just last week, and it was from a woman who said, my husband and I are middle-class working people. We wanted a family, and we had one child. And the two of us sat down with pencil and paper, and we figured out that with our incomes, this is about as far as it could go. We want this one child to have every advantage: school, camp, college, graduate school if she wants it. And we knew that if we had 2 or 3 kids, we really couldn't do that. And despite the fact that I wanted a larger family, we said, this is what we can handle. This is what we can do. She said, and I get so frustrated sometimes, Judge, when I watch your program and I see these people who, without any thought of a consequence, bring children into the world that are destined to suffer, that are destined not to have a full, rich life because they're not acting responsibly. Fathers having children and disappearing. Grandparents taking over the responsibility of raising grandchildren because
a typical production week that in terms of how to and like small claims in many states.
So I think that post-production is much easier in the last 10 years.
You've referred to yourself as a truth machine. How do you spot a lie? Because you must hear a lot of them.
Life has a certain rhythm. Unless you have a mental illness, life has a certain rhythm. There's a certain common sense to life. And if something doesn't make sense to you, if you're a normal, that wide normal, it's usually not true. You know, there are these catchphrases that we learned as young people, you know, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Oh, well, that's true. And if somebody's telling you a story that doesn't make sense to you, and you're a grown-up, which is why I'm saying I was young at 39 to be a judge. I learned so much in the last 20, 25 years. So much more you learn if you have your antenna up. You learn from just being alive, if you're out there. You learn from being a parent. You learn from being a wife. You learn from being a grandparent. You learn from being an in-law. You learn from being a divorced parent. I mean, I was all of those things, and you take certain things away with all of those experiences. Did I answer your question?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
The catchphrases known as Judaisms. Judaisms, not Judaism.
Yes.
What are your favorites, and what are the viewers' favorites? What do you hear back?
I don't know. I don't know what the viewers' favorites are, but I get a lot of, I love when you say, is not an answer. Is not an answer. I haven't used stupid is not written on my forehead for a long time, but that was a favorite for many years.
Beauty fades.
Dumb is forever. Well, that's true.
And just plain baloney.
Baloney is also true.
But these come from you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And sometimes I don't know where they come from. I honestly, I walk in the back and say, where did that come from? Where that came from?
But you actually say liar, liar, pants on fire, right?
I do.
Well, it's clear language, that's for sure.
It is clear language. Well, we had a judge in the family court who was an Ivy graduate, very blue blood. I was, and it's because of you. And we lose track of this. And even as is an abortion of the law. What if I said, I'm really going to rush this case through because, you know what? Cost anybody, but even in the most respect, isn't that what I said?
I think so. To a judge, and be a judge who has been on television.
Find that comfortable place for himself. Is to my leverage, I have to do. my hair, to rinse my hair in, and I wanted to make more money. And now there's a time that they'd like to make more money. That's the ebb and flow. But we respect each other. So it's a good partnership.
In the time since your show first premiered 13 or 14 years ago, there have been numerous court shows. Some are long gone. Many are still on the air. Have you or do you watch any of those shows? And if so, what do you think about the other shows?
Oh, that's a hard question. I flipped on many of them just to see. Not all of them, but many of them. And some are better than others. Some people, I think, are natural to television and others are not. I think that court television is personality-driven rather than case-driven. As opposed to somebody who writes a great script for a sitcom, it's the script that runs it. Every morning I run on the treadmill and I run to one full episode of West Wing. I've seen them all now, at least 3 or 4 times. They're on Bravo. And I watch it because of the smart writing. And when they take out one character, it doesn't destroy the ensemble because the writing is so strong. And while I love the characters, it's the writing that's strong. But in court television, there is no writing. So you're carrying the ball. You're making the soup. You're taking the stock and the carrots and the celery and the turnips and the parsley, and you have to create an interesting soup with all of that. And you can only do that if you have the kind of personality that's interesting. Some are more interesting than others.
What you just said a moment ago was that the court shows are not case-driven, but personality-driven.
Correct.
Taking that logically a step forward, would it be fair to say that the staying power of Judge Judy is because of Judge Judy?
Well, if I say yes, that seems if that's true, that suggests that I have this superannuated ego, which I hate to perpetuate for posterity on this film. However, that's true. You either watch me because you like what you see. Some people watch me because they don't like what they see, but they love to hate me. And some people don't watch at all because it's not comforting to them. Joe Wapner wouldn't watch me every day because I would not be soothing to him. But it's my personality and not the litigant. I bring out the personality of the litigant so that at the end of a case, you have followed me in this journey of who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. I do that for you so that you're comfortable with the verdict at the end of it. And it takes me a couple of minutes to figure out who the good guy is and who the bad guy is, but you're coming along with that journey. And hopefully I do it for you in an entertaining fashion. Well, then it's personality driven. It's not driven by somebody who's writing the script. And the litigants are transient. So it has to be the judge, right?
Logically speaking, yes.
That's logical. And if it's logical, it's true.
Which is why I said, is this fair to say? So
You're
I think
right.
You're right. Any cases that really stand out for you over the course of the series or have gotten a lot of public reaction that you know of?
No. None of them stand out for me. And I don't read much about their public reaction.
Is there a favorite type of case that you like to arbitrate or deal with when you're on the show? Or?
I do best with cases that involve families and children because that's my expertise. I mean, I like to think I can do the others too. The idiot throws the kerosene lamp into a bonfire and it explodes and hits somebody's car. That's not too difficult to deal with. But it also doesn't make very meaty television because, you're an idiot and that's what idiots do, throw kerosene into bonfires. I don't know, did I answer your question?
You did. Have you ever refused to hear a case?
Yes.
What were the circumstances? Or even if it's not specific, what kind of a case would you refuse to hear?
I refuse to hear a case where I can tell from the papers or I've seen 2 minutes of the case, seen the litigants, where one of the litigants is mentally ill or disturbed. Because it's not there. And sometimes it's not evident to the producer who's doing, who's putting together the case. But because I have an acute sense of people, that's what, and as I said, I can't add, can't subtract, no math, don't do computers or anything else. That's my sense. I can usually tell right away if someone's off. And I won't do the case when someone's off. It's not fair, and it's dangerous. Sometimes I'm sure some slip by me, but when I know that someone is mentally tenuous, I won't do it.
How have you changed since you first started the show, if at all?
I don't know if I've changed. I actually don't know if I've changed. I've gotten older. I think in many ways I've learned lots of things. I enjoy the perks and the fruits of my labor, and I share it with those people who I love, both related and not related to me, because I can try going back to college.
Their families.
And it is a gift. You have a responsibility, and you have a responsibility to comport yourself in a responsible way. That doesn't mean all of us are not fallible one time or another in our lives. But there are so few people that get into this rarefied air that, and you are a heroine or a hero to other people. They look up to you. And if you disappoint, you're not only disappointing yourself, but you're disappointing a whole bunch of other people. Hundreds of millions of people sometimes. So you have to act responsibly.
You've appeared on many other television shows playing yourself, essentially. Is that just pretty much just a kick to you? I mean, do you ever think about how you might be perceived when you're back in your role on your own show as Judge Judy?
No, it's the same person. It's really the same person. As I said, if you're comfortable in your skin and you're comfortable with your convictions, there are some stock phrases that are so wonderful that stick. If you tell the truth all the time, you don't have to have a good memory. Right? If you are pandering to a particular person who was conducting an interview, or pandering to a segment of the population when you're giving a speech, you have to keep all those things in such good order. It's too difficult for me. So I am who I am. You either accept it and like it, or you don't. Watch it or not, your prerogative. But I don't change my spots.
Now, I have it on good authority that you're a Law and Order junkie.
I am a Law and Order junkie.
Do you find that show to be fairly accurate?
No. And we hate the way most of the time it depicts the judge as an idiot. And there are a lot of judges that are idiots. Make no mistake about that. But seeing the judge portrayed as a fool and making ridiculous rulings that are so inconsistent with the law in any civilized country is something that we find troublesome. However, we're still Law and Order junkies because that show has a great cadence. It has a beginning, a middle, and at 25 to 10 or 25 to 9 or 25 to 8, if they've got somebody in custody, it's usually the wrong person because they're going to get the right person at 12 minutes to. It has a cadence to it, and it's comforting. And for us, we're watching Law and Order most of the time while we're propped up in bed. And since we've seen each of them at least 4 or 5 times, when we fall asleep in the middle, we haven't lost anything.
Right. Have you enjoyed other courtroom dramas through the years, from the Defenders, Perry Mason, Law and Order, those types? Not Law and Order, but L.A. Law.
Well, L.A. Law was fun, and Boston Legal is fun. Boston Legal does not depict any law firm that I'm aware of. But certainly the characters are fascinating and fabulous, and neither did L.A. Law, actually, in my judgment. But things in L.A. are a little iffy anyway in the law with law firms. So I'm not sure how close L.A. Law was to reality. Certainly nothing like the white shoe law firms that I knew of in New York. I don't remember. I mean, I remember watching Perry Mason occasionally, but the answer is no. It's most of the time, it's just Law and Order, SVU, Law and Order, the original.
Okay, get your time check. Okay, what's your proudest career achievement?
I don't know how to answer that question. I think that I have a reputation for being an honest lady. I'm true to my word, and I have a perspective. The perspective is a consistent perspective. And some may view it as rigid, but it is who I am. I believe in right and wrong. I believe at the end of the day, what's supposed to happen in a trial is the search for the truth and getting the right answer, and a good guy wins and the bad guy loses. And I like to think that that's what I've done in my career.
Is there any one regret that you have?
Yes, that I'm not taller.
What about advice you'd give to someone who aspires to be a part of daytime television?
You have to have a strong constitution. Most things fail. And it's very, very nice for me to have had success. To have had this program and it be successful. I can't tell you how I would feel if I had this program and it was marginally successful enough to keep it on the air and keep me working, but not a breakout hit that it has become, and not the backbone of much of daytime. I don't know how I would feel. It's really nice to, and not everybody can be a hit show, or can have a hit show. So I think that you really have to be, and I don't know if I could do what these kids do out here in LA, which is go to interviews and auditions time after time and get rejected. That would be devastating for me. You really have to have some sort of constitution and really love the craft to be able to go to these auditions time after time and be told, sorry, thank you, you're too old, you're too young, you're too pretty, you're too ugly, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too blonde, you're too brunette. I don't know how I don't think I could do it. I think that would be devastating on your ego.
Do you consider yourself an entertainer?
Now I do. That's what I do. I entertain. Can't have show business without the show. We are in show business. I do it from the perspective of what I know, which is being a judge. But I am an entertainer. When on the doctor's form, when they ask me occupation, I write TV. That's what I write.
So what's been the secret of your success, would you say?
Gee, I don't know. I really don't know. You would probably have to ask others. I think a lot of what I get away with because of my Murray Blum comedic timing and the fact that I can be a little self-deprecating, and because I try to show people the lunacy of their position by drawing these ridiculous analogies that people have to say, well, that's ridiculous. And I say, yeah, but that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Don't you get it? I've got the formula. And it wasn't a formula that I fine-tuned anywhere. I came to it. That was my formula. That was my gift, because I couldn't do math and I can't plug in a computer. And I only know how to answer my cell phone. And I have 260 text messages on my phone, and I don't know how to get them off, and I don't know how to read them. And I probably have a lot of people who don't speak to me because they text me and I don't answer them. I can't do that. But what I can do, I could do, and I can make a living at it.
What do you know for sure?
I know for sure that this gig's going to come to an end. And when it does, I will feel blessed that I am one of the few people who've had 2 fabulous careers. And I don't know what the next one will be. There could be another one. But I know that I've had 2 great careers. And some of it was hard work, and a lot of it is luck.
And how would you like to be remembered?
Judge Judy as a female role model for the masses is not cool by me as an empath, and also not cool by me as a feminine feeler personality. I don't want male brains in female bodies setting the example of what women should aspire to, any more than I want narcissists defining what empaths should aspire to. Judge Judy is too much of a masculine male brain in a female body to be advocating for feminine feeler types of women, and too much of a narcissist to be an example for empaths. It is masculine male thinker brains in female bodies like Judge Judy that have been the drivers behind so-called feminism, which has just tried to turn women into men, and that is not good for real women. Gordan Ramsay as a TJ type of masculine overt narcissist with heavy extroverted thinking is just like INTJ Sam Vaknin and ENTJ Klaus Michelson and ISTJ Dexter. He's smart enough to know that now that people are taking him to task for being an arrogant asshole most of the time, that he needs to have some sympathetic backstory and excuse. So that's why Gordan tried to rebrand himself sympathetically by coming out with speeches talking about how his father beat up his mother and he witnessed that, and how his father and brother turned into addicts. So like I've said with INTJ Sam Vaknin and him saying his narcissism was born from trauma from the mother, I've had a child with INTJ like Sam Vaknin, and she was never traumatized, and she was a born overt narcissist projecting badness on everyone from 7 years old, especially mother figures or innocent figures like babies. So that's what Sam Vaknin is, just trying to project badness on the most innocent figures like mothers. And ENTJ Klaus also had an abuse story, like his father abused him to make people believe trauma caused his overt narcissism and antisocial personality. And ISTJ Dexter tries to act like seeing violence in childhood scarred him. But there are plenty of tells in all of these stories to poke holes in these trauma stories and see that these TJ born overt narcissists were never traumatized. They were born as overt narcissists with deficits in affective empathy genetically inherited that made them unable to even register trauma as an experience. So don't believe that Gordan Ramsay's father caused Gordan to be an overt narcissist by abusing his mother. The only way Gordan's father made him a narcissist was by passing on the genetics of narcissism. It seems like most born overt narcissists are very invested in saying they have trauma stories, so their genes aren't seen as defective and undesirable to be mate selected against due to their narcissism. And they see having trauma stories as a way of being more relatable to people who actually do experience trauma with affective empathy by mimicking these trauma stories. And then they also get the attention of empathic types and anyone who wants to project goodness on them. So ESTJ Gordan is an overt narcissist, and he was born that way from inherited genetics, but he has trauma stories to get sympathy and be relatable and make excuses for his narcissism. And we see Judge Judy, I don't see her telling any trauma stories about her childhood, and that reinforces another point I've been making across a lot of cases lately, and that is that it's not trauma that causes people to be narcissists as much as it is genetics, because we see people who are loved and spoiled wealthy as children and given everything we're told to see as the American dream to have, and they turn out just as much narcissists as the ones surrounded by poverty, addiction, abuse, and trauma. So I used previously ESFJ covert narcissist Taylor Swift as an example in other videos, how she doesn't have any trauma stories. She has stories of a good, loving upbringing, and yet she's an obvious covert narcissist who admits it in her anti-hero song. While ESFJ covert narcissists like Bunny XO are obvious covert narcissists who have these poor me childhood abuse stories of abandonment and trauma. And so the narcissism is more inherent genetically than made from trauma or spoiling. Trauma or spoiling just exacerbates the inherent narcissism that they were predisposed to due to their cognitive function stack order of preferences. So it's not surprising that ESTJs as TV personalities are set as an example of competency to aspire to for the masses. As far as the common sensor personalities go, without talking about the neurodivergent minority intuitive population, but as far as the sensor majority goes, ESTJ are the most competent to set an example for sensors to aspire to. When Judge Judy goes on about how she is so much smarter than litigants she sees, she is slightly smarter than most of them since they're all common sensor personalities, and ESTJ are the most competent of the sensor personalities. Neurodivergent intuitives are significantly more intelligent than all sensor personalities, so if there were ever any intuitive people in her court, neurodivergent people, she would not be more intelligent than them, even if she appears more competent in a society made by and for narcissists like common sensor narcissists like her. So as entertaining as Judge Judy and Gordan Ramsay are, they might be an example that the masses of common sensor, overt, and covert narcissists want to aspire, but they are not role models for empaths. Empaths and neurodivergent intuitive people are far more intelligent than sensors and more good than narcissists and can aspire to much better ways of living than following the examples of common narcissists. These types of people defining normalcy for other common sensor narcissists is one thing, but they're also defining normalcy for neurodivergent intuitive people as well. Neurodivergent intuitive empaths live in a world made by and for common narcissists. And for empaths to emancipate themselves from narcissists, they have to see a new definition of normalcy and success, which does not look anything like the example that the ESTJ overt narcissists like Judge Judy and Gordan Ramsay are setting as the definition of normalcy and success for other common sensor narcissists. So the population statistics have ESTJ at just under 10% of the population and ISTJs at just over 10% of the population. So because they're so similar, I'll clump them together when I'm talking about the overall representations these types have. The STJ-born overt narcissists like this make up about 20% of the population. About 1 in every 5 people can be predisposed to being an STJ-born overt narcissist like ESTJ Judge Judy or ESTJ Gordan Ramsay or ISTJ Dexter. Mate selecting against STJ types, mate selects against this common sensor variety of overt narcissism. So Judge Judy, ESTJ overt narcissist Judge Judy says something like, "It's hard knowing no matter how much effort was put in, most of these broken families were not able to be helped or fixed. That's because the common majority personalities, ST types, are predisposed to overt narcissism, and SF types are prone to covert narcissism. And then they're conditioned to see narcissism as synonymous with normalcy and success, exacerbating their predispositions to addiction to narcissistic supply that are inherent in their genetically inherited cognitive function stack order of preferences." In response to Judge Judy talking about setting an example of taking responsibility, that's what she wants to be known for on Judge Judy, is showing the American justice system means business and enforces accountability and a sense of responsibility. And this relates to some differences between SP types and SJ types. And SP types are known as like the experiencers that just live in the now, in the next 5 minutes, not really planning ahead. And SJ types are known as the responsible sensor types that can plan ahead, store up the nuts for the winter or whatever, more so than the SP types, which are relatively, infantile and can't plan ahead. And so lazy, passive, drug-addicted SP types may be her Judge Judy's bread and butter and keeping her busy with crimes they commit for hits of narcissistic supply, but Judge Judy is actually just as much of a drug addict and a junkie for the drug called narcissistic supply that her litigants she rules over are. I made this case with ESFJ covert narcissist Lori Vallow and ISFJ covert narcissist Chad Daybell also, that they look like responsible middle-class white people with money. They don't look like some losers that sit around and do drugs all day. And yet ISFJ Chad and ESFJ Lori were just as much junkies for their drug of choice called narcissistic supply as some random low-life SFP types were that threw their lives away for some meth or some other hard drugs. Just like they say, like, a tweaker will, sell their grandmother for a hit of their drug or whatever, it's the same. Like, Lori Vallow would kill her kids for a hit of the drug called narcissistic supply. And so it's similar with ESTJ, overt narcissist, Gordan, and Judy as well. They're passing themselves off as the responsible ones, the successful ones, the sober ones, the ones with their shit together, unlike people who are lazy addicts. Gordan even makes a big sob story about how his brother and his father were drug addicts and he's just a beacon of sobriety. But what most people won't call out that I'm calling out now is that Gordan is just as much of a junkie as his brother and his father and any other addict. Gordan is addicted to the drug called narcissistic supply as an ESTJ-born overt narcissist. The dominant cognitive function, TE, extroverted thinking, predisposes TJ types to overt narcissism. And so no matter whether they're spoiled or abused as children, they're predisposed to addiction to the drug called narcissistic supply. So Gordan's relative sobriety, in contrast to his junkie family members, is a farce because Gordan is an overt narcissist and every narcissist is a junkie addicted to the drug called narcissistic supply. So people like Judy and Gordan set the example for the masses of common sensor personality, like narcissism is synonymous with normalcy and success. Like you can't achieve success by the narcissist definition unless you're addicted to the drug called narcissistic supply. And, narcissists are loyal to a false self. So going into entertainment is perfect for that. They have to put on an act to uphold the false self anyways. And so going into acting is just kind of natural. And so Judy saying that the families just don't change or improve is because the masses are being set an example of narcissism as normalcy and success on TV, thanks to popular overt narcissist TV personalities like Judge Judy and Gordan Ramsay. And then they're copying those narcissistic traits as if they are normal traits or traits of successful people, and common sensor covert narcissists and overt narcissists proceed to out-narcissist each other in family dynamics, while narcissists in family court professions cash in on it. So Judy and Gordan are both setting an example for the sensor common majority types that narcissism is synonymous with normalcy and success, that addiction to the drug called narcissistic supply is synonymous with normalcy and success. So sensor types are predisposed to narcissism, either overt with ST types or covert with SF types. And then they're also culturally conditioned to see seeking hits of the drug called narcissistic supply and passing that off as evidence of being normal and successful by the narcissist definition. So that's my explanation why the so-called justice system is not helping people but only hurting them or cashing in on their pain, is because the majority population are narcissists with narcissism modeled to them as normalcy and success by so-called successful career people like ESTJ over narcissists like Judy and Gordan. I talked about in the covert narcissist couples video how SF covert narcissists make up about 40% of the population, and that's why narcissism seems so common now, because it is common. And then we have over 30% as ST overt narcissists. And if narcissists are the majority and narcissists are defining the concept of normalcy and success, then you cannot fix the problem of narcissism if it is simultaneously the definition of normalcy and success you aspire to and model. And model to the masses as, what should be copied. So STJ over narcissists, similarly like the SF type covert narcissists I talked about, are defining a normalcy and success for everyone by narcissistic values and standards. And that narcissist defining normalcy and success is why people devolve into the worst kinds of destruction perpetually in family court. We won't stop seeing families like ISFP covert narcissist Chris Watts murdering his wife and kids and all the other heinous true crime we see in families until narcissists are no longer the majority population anymore and empaths take the majority population. We have not seen true civilization yet, and we won't until we're in the age of the empath majority. Because right now we have pseudo-civility, where predators quietly prey on others while keeping their hands clean and quiet through sophisticated professions like Hannibal Lecter. Narcissists love to sow the seeds of destruction, and that's all they've programmed to do is out-narcissist other narcissists through destruction. Empaths have to emancipate themselves from the common sensor narcissists that define normalcy and success for everyone in perverted and evil, death-loving ways. Okay, and feminism is not one of my hot topics or whatever, but since we're on it right now, when we're talking about gender dysphoria, I'll go a little bit further on feminism. So we haven't made real progress in feminism as much as we are conditioned to believe we have by narcissists. Because it used to be male bodies had control over female bodies, even if they were gender dysphoric women in women brains in male bodies. And now it's male brains in female bodies like Judge Judy setting the example for women to follow for so-called success. So males in female bodies like Judge Judy set the example for women to just be more like men rather than embracing their femininity. And when I talk about STP type women and how ISTP Amber Heard is considered the most beautiful woman, it stands out to me that male brains and female bodies are setting the example of most beautiful women as well. So the ST type masculine males and female bodies are setting the example for women for success and beauty when they're not even really women. They have male brains inside female bodies. So ST type females, which are gender dysphoric male brains and female bodies, are setting the example of beauty standards for feeler type women, and I think it's important to point that out. The uber thin body, the athletic body types are masculine and yet idealized for actual feminine women. So it's never been empathic, non-narcissistic, feminine brain women setting a good example for women to follow. But that's the example we need for the narcissist-free world where empaths take the majority population.